pretty sure even if I counted my toes in, I would probably run out of fingers to count the number of Asus Zenfones that are there in the market. But still, there was no battery-centric Zenfone. Until now. Hi guys, this is Deeksha from 91 Mobiles and I have reviewed the Asus Zenfone Max for you. Before we get into the video, have a quick look at the specifications. The first thing you realize when you pick up the Asus Zenfone Max is the fact that it can be used as a self-defense tool as well because it's so heavy. It weighs about 200 grams and the phone is so bulky it completely nullifies the effect of a curved rear panel and it's just not meant for one-hand usage. There's nothing special about the design. It looks like any other Asus Zenfone with the concentric circle design on the bottom bezel and on the buttons. Talking of buttons, the port placement is standard. You get the audio jack on the top edge and a micro USB port and a primary microphone on the bottom one. The volume toggle and power button are on the right edge. Above the display, you find the usual assortment of an earpiece, sensors, notification LED and front camera. And below the display, there are 3 capacitive navigation keys. The back panel gets the primary camera module and some minimal branding. So the Asus Zenfone Max comes in 2 variants, black and white. I have the white one with me and it gets a smooth matte back panel, while the rear panel on the black one sports faux leather finish. Overall, the Asus Zenfone Max is average in terms of design and if you can ignore the weight, it should work for you. Now coming to the highlight of the device. Accept it. You and I have settled with the fact that after a day worth of usage, our phones will just die on us and so we have stopped paying attention to the battery life aspect of the phone. After using the Zenfone Max, I realized how awesome it feels to not fret about the battery life even if there's just 15% of it left. On our standard battery test, the 5000 mAh battery of the Asus Zenfone Max lasted for 24.5 hours. So that basically means if you're a person like me who likes to sleep 12 hours a day, that means 2 days of usage on a single charge. However, if you would like to extend the usage even further, you can use the preset or customizable power saving modes that the phone offers. Let's talk about the phone's display now. The Zenfone Max gets a 5.5-inch HD display, so it's not one of the sharpest screens you can find in the price segment. That said, the brightness, sunlight legibility, colors and viewing angles are extremely good, but the touch response is just average. Overall, the display does its job and you shouldn't have major issues while reading or watching movies. The camera on the Asus Zenfone Max is the same that you will find on the Asus Zenfone Laser, a 13 megapixel primary camera with dual tone LED flash and laser autofocus and a 5 megapixel front camera. Let's take a look at the default camera app the Asus Zenfone Max comes with. As you can see, the app is pretty loaded and the viewfinder comes flanked by a lot of quick toggles which include the flash control, option to switch to the front camera, camera settings, a quick toggle to switch to the manual mode which gives you control over the white balance, exposure, ISO, autofocus and shutter speed, a toggle to switch to the video shooting mode and a button which lets you access all the preset shooting modes the phone comes with, which include HDR, beautification, super resolution, low light, depth of field, GIF animation, slow motion and time-lapse among others. Under the camera settings, you get the usual options of controlling the white balance, ISO, changing the camera resolution. There's an option called anti-shake enhancement among other features. Let's try taking a picture. And here are the results. The phone focuses very quickly, but the shutter speed is not amazingly great. Talking about the images, the first thing I noticed is that the phone struggles while capturing whites, be it long shots or close-ups. But the problem happens mostly outdoors. Have a look at this image and you will see how washed out the object looks in bright sunlight. The long shots seem sharp on the screen but pixelate as soon as you view them in full resolution. The colors, however, look decent. Interestingly, where most of the phone cameras fail, the Asus Zenfone Max manages to capture good images in low light conditions or at night. Even the front camera is capable of capturing good details. Overall, with the bunch of apps and settings that you get with the default camera app, you should be able to create decent looking pictures with the Asus Zenfone Max. The Zenfone Max runs Android Lollipop with Zen UI on top, and if you've ever used a Zenfone before, you'd know how the UI looks. It's pretty gimmicky and comes loaded with a lot of bloatware. Still, let's take a closer look. The first thing you notice about the UI on the Zenfone Max is the changed icons in very vibrant colors. Swiping down from the top lets you access the quick settings in notification panel, which gives you access to quick toggles like blue light filter, hotspot, auto start manager, and power and boost, among other regular options like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cellular data, and sound. Now the Asus Zenfone Max comes preloaded with a lot of bloatware, which includes first-party apps like Asus Mobile Manager, Asus Support, Audio Wizard, Auto Start Manager, Do It Later, Mini Movie, My Asus, Themes, Splendid, Zen Circle, and Zen Talk. There's an interesting app called Laser Ruler, which uses the phone's laser autofocus mechanism to measure distances up to 50 centimeters. In terms of third-party apps, the Zenfone Max doesn't come with much. You get all apps from Google, along with other apps like Clean Master and Doctor Safety. Let's dive into the settings. The Asus Zenfone Max supports a bunch of motions and gestures. The gestures include the usual double tap to wake up the screen. You can also draw letters to launch different apps from standby. For instance, drawing C launches the camera app. Motion support includes shaking the phone to capture a screenshot when you're using an app or creating a new task in the Do It Later app. I mentioned earlier that the Asus Zenfone Max is not meant for one-hand usage, so you get a one-hand mode which can either be launched from the motion settings or you can access it from the quick settings. You can customize the size of the window as per your liking and move the window as well. Swiping up from the bottom of the display lets you access a bunch of customization options to change the look and feel of the UI. You can edit how the home screens look by changing the icon size, icon alignment, scroll effect, etc. Other options include locking the apps, using themes, changing the icon packs, etc. Overall, you should be okay with the UI. It's a little irritating that you can't get rid of all the preloaded apps that come on the phone, but the customization options and the near stock interface should make up for it. With a Qualcomm Snapdragon 410 chip and 2 GB of RAM, I expected a lot smoother operation than I got. I did encounter minor lags while launching apps and switching between screens, but interestingly, the phone manages to handle heavy games easily. However, every time I returned to the home screen after having played a heavy game, I was greeted with a completely black wallpaper which took a fraction of seconds to load. So overall, the processing capabilities of the Asus Zenfone Max can be regarded as above average. A couple of other things you should know about the Zenfone Max before you go for it are that the call quality and signal reception are somewhat of an issue and the loudspeaker on the phone is not loud. So the Asus Zenfone Max is priced at Rs 9,999 and being a smartphone in the sub 10,000 segment, it faces a lot of competition. If we stick around the battery-centric devices, we have the Lenovo Vibe T1M and the Acer Liquid Z630S, both of which offer 4000 mAh batteries. But the processor on the Acer Liquid Z630S is better than that on the Asus Zenfone Max. But being the smartphone that offers the longest battery life, the Asus Zenfone Max is the best you can get under 10,000 if you're looking for a battery-centric device only. If you're looking for all-rounders, you should probably go for the Lenovo K3 Note and the Eureka Plus, which offer better screens, better cameras, better processors, basically better everything with average battery life. So I would say buying the Asus Zenfone Max only makes sense if you absolutely need amazing battery life and average everything else. If you'd like to take a look at the box contents of the Asus Zenfone Max or read the full review, the links to those are in the description box below. Do like and share the video and let us know what you think in the comment box below. Subscribe to the channel for more, and as I always say, keep your tech game up with 91mobiles.com.